Displacement may be unavoidable during war, but the warring parties must ensure that the civilians are not targeted and that they are sheltered in welfare centers. However, the end of hostilities does not mean that these people's problems will be resolved overnight. The Muslims in the recently liberated East are still agitated over the fact that steps have not been taken to resolve the loss of their lands, which were taken over by the LTTE or the government at some point in the past.
The Eastern Provincial Council elections in May 2008 was widely heralded as a positive sign of the government's attempts to restore democracy in the conflict-embattled province. The Muslim community in Batticaloa were perhaps more euphoric that elections were held to appoint a local governing body, as they had several long-standing grievances to be addressed, dominant amongst them being the land issue. Muslims in the East had high expectations that they would be given possession of large tracts of lands that they had to abandon in phases over the decades due to security concerns and resettlement schemes. But solutions have not been forthcoming as of yet.
Problem that the Muslims faced in respect to the land issue, there had not been any changes, and especially in the context that where after establishing the provincial council, land powers are not being given to them. Therefore, there is no way that we could sort out this problem when speaking to the Tamil Chief Minister. So the problem continues same, and we hope that there will be a change by when the land powers are given to the provincial council.
With no action being taken by the Eastern Provincial Council to address the land issue even 3 months after the Eastern polls, a group of civil society representatives from the province decided to band together to do something about the situation. In August 2008, the representatives met with lawyers in Colombo to gather evidence and formulate strategies to take legal steps relating to the Muslim land issue. The participants discussed ways in which the government's land policies and security measures have impacted on the Muslim community living in the East. The present situation in Trincomalee was used as a case study for the discussion.
அதாவது எனக்கு இப்போது 40 வயது. இந்த வயதில் நான் இருக்கும் குடியிருப்பு காணிக்கு உரிய பெர்மிட் வழங்கப்படவில்லை. அதே நேரம் இதர பகுதிகளான திரியாய், குச்சவெளி, உடவக்கட்டு, கும்புருப்பட்டி போன்ற தமிழ் பிரதேசங்களில் உள்ளவர்களுக்கு காணி அதாவது அனுமதி பத்திரங்கள் வழங்கப்பட்டு அவை தற்போது ஜெயபூமிக்காக விண்ணப்பிக்கப்பட்டுள்ளன. அது மட்டுமில்லை, இந்த தமிழ் பிரதேசங்களில் அத்தனை காணிகளும் நில அளவை செய்யப்பட்டு எல்லையிடப்பட்டுள்ளது. அவை ஜெயபூமிக்காக விண்ணப்பிக்கப்பட்டுள்ளன. ஆனால் முஸ்லீம் பிரதேசங்கள் இதுவரைக்கும் எந்த ஒரு காணிகளுக்கும் நியமிக்க அதாவது பெர்மிட் வழங்கப்பட்டதாக அதாவது அனுமதி பத்திரம் வழங்கப்பட்டதாக இல்லை.
Another aspect of the land issue concerning Muslims is that Muslims have not been allocated land by the government in accordance with their population numbers.
In the areas where the Muslim majority is there, we do feel a slight discrimination in that there is a tendency on the part of the central government and also in the provincial government to favor the areas, either the Sinhalese and presently we feel with the Tamils. But of course we don't grudge the Tamils, because in fact in past the Tamil local authority areas have been far underdeveloped and they need a special attention. But on the other hand, as far as the Muslim local authorities are concerned, we are little concerned of the fact that that comes within the provincial framework, and we have not seen any drastic change in the attitude so far.
In the armed conflict that ensued after 1985, about 35,000 acres of lands belonging to the Muslims were forcibly taken by the LTTE. However, even today, after the liberation of the East, these lands are still to be claimed by their rightful owners due to security concerns and mistrust which the conflict created between communities.
As far as the land that was in the LTTE control area is concerned, it's not the question of whether it has been held back. Actually, it will be unfair to say that the Muslims are not being allowed to go there. But the problem is, though they are allowed to go there, whether they can in fact go is the question. The environment and especially the security. The Muslims have been not given that sort of a feeling that their securities are in harmonized, and the Muslims feel confident to move into that area. So it is very important to bring about a psychological security relaxation among the Muslims where they will freely be able to go in those areas, which is essentially a Tamil dominated area.
A common grievance of not just the Muslims but also the Tamil populations in the east are new plans by the government to create Sinhala colonies in the area. New government resettlement has meant that Muslim and Tamil communities have had to move out of certain areas.
மிக அண்மையில் ஒரு விடயம், அதாவது திருகோணமலை துறைமுக பாதையில் உள்ள சிங்களவர்களை புடவக்கட்டு பகுதி குடியேற்றுவதற்கான முயற்சிகள் மேற்கொள்ளப்பட்டு புடவக்கட்டு பகுதியில் உள்ள முஸ்லீம்களை அங்கிருந்து அப்புறப்படுமாறு தற்போது பிரதேச செயலாளராலும் மாவட்ட செயலாளராலும் வேண்டுகோள் விடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. அது மட்டுமல்ல, அங்கு ஒரு நேவி, அதாவது கடற்படை முகாம் ஒன்று அமைக்கப்பட்டது மூலம் அந்த புடவைக்கட்டு கிராமத்தில் கிட்டத்தட்ட 49 வீடுகள் இன்று அதாவது அந்த இராணுவ கட்டுப்பாட்டில் வந்திருந்தால் அந்த வீடுகளில் வாழ்ந்தவர்கள் இன்று அகதிகளாக நிலை ஏற்பட்டுள்ளது.
The tsunami resettlement procedures have also raised conflicts around ownership of traditional lands according to the Muslims in the east.
சுனாமியின் பிற்பாடு அவ்வாறு குடியேற்றப்படும் எண்ணிக்கை மிக ஏராளம். உதாரணமாக, சுனாமியால் உண்மையில் பாதிக்கப்பட்டவருக்கு வீடு கிடைக்காத போதிலும் சுனாமியால் பாதிக்கப்பட்டவர்களை மட்டக்களப்பிலிருந்து பார்க்க வந்தவர்களுக்கு கூட இன்று வீடுகள் வழங்கப்பட்டுள்ளது.
Following the liberation of the east, the government has revealed plans to develop infrastructure and livelihoods in the eastern province. However, development alone will not suffice to improve the situation of people in the east. It is important that the grievances of people are heard and addressed. The Muslims who have not been a part of the conflict, but who have long suffered because of it, will keep up their insistence for the authorities to resolve their problems and uphold their rights.